Hello. Good morning, everybody. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Hello. Okay. So all of you, please mute yourself. Don't try to create any type of risk. Hello. Good morning, everybody. This is Ganesh. Hello. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. So I continue my session. So better you try to join within the time. Then there is no need to waste of our time here. Okay. Hello. Hello. Good morning, everybody. This is Ganesh. So we can start our session now. Okay. In the last class, we are discussing about the what is the database management system, right? So what is the database management system? So database management system is nothing but the collection of interrelated data that can be managed into tables. Okay. Okay, we try to discuss remaining topics. So in the last class, we are discussing about what is a file system. So and what are the drawbacks of file system, and nothing but the first topic, file system versus DBMS. So in the exam point of view, that is the very important topic. Okay. And another thing, in the exam point of view, asking in different types of ways. So for example, maybe can you compare the file system with the database management system? So maybe asking like this, or maybe asking like this, what are the database system characteristics? So whatever it may be the question. So here, if you know about this topic clearly, so we can easily answer. So more than I think we are able to answer 3 or 4 questions. So what are the means? First of all, so what are the differences between file system versus DBMS? And second thing is what are the advantages of DBMS? And third thing is what are the drawbacks of file system? And fourth thing is what are the characteristics of DBMS? Okay, I hope my voice is audible to everyone. So that's why I'm continuing my session now. Okay, if anyone, please give me one message. So whether it is audible to you or not. At the same time, my screen is visible to you or not. So please try to send one message through chat box. Anyone. So may I continue my session and whether the screen is able to see or not. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, now I continue my session now. Okay. In the last class, we were discussing about the database management system. So first of all, so this is what is a database? So database is a collection of data typically describing the activities of one or more related organizations. Okay. So here, so database is nothing but the collection of data. Okay, typically describing the activities of one or more related organizations. So nothing but when we are maintaining the lot of data, so then we are based upon to the database. Okay, and another thing here, so for example, a university database might contain information about the following things. So for example, if you are consider the university, so then which type of data to be we are considered here? So what are the colleges, right? So how many number of students are there? So and what is the college name? How many number of faculties are there? And how each type of facilities are there? and how many which type of course is assigned to the particular student. So these type of things are we are considered. Am I right? So in the case of database management system, if we are consider the university database, so we are observing the entities. So what is the meaning of entity? So entity is nothing but a thing or object. Okay. In other words, which type of thing is having the attributes? So that will be treated as an entity. For example, we are consider for example, we are consider one car. Okay. If that is having the attributes, for example, maybe what type of car, so what is the model, what is the company, okay, what is the capacity, so which type of fuel it is, what is the cost, so like this. So in the same way we can consider any type of the thing. Okay, any type of the thing will be here. We can consider which type of thing is having the attributes that will be treated as an entity. Okay, for example, student is an also one entity. So student having also some attributes. So what is the student number, student name, student marks, student address. So in the same way, faculty is also one entity. Faculty is also having ID. Faculty is having name. Faculty having the experience, salary, particular subject expert. Okay, like this. So class is also having an entity. So that means here we can consider everything will be treated as an entity if it is having the attributes. Okay, so then what is the relationship? What is the relationship? So what is the relationship between these entities? For example, in the case of university database, here we are consider students is one entity, faculty is one entity, course is one entity, classroom is one entity. Then what is the relationship between them? So students, and what is the relationship between student and faculty? So student and course, okay, and student and classroom. So in this type of way, so when we are consider a lot of data, so then we are based upon to the database. So why? Because so this is the, it will be provide one software to provide easier interactions with the users. Okay, so we can discuss later about this. Why? Because we are already discussed in the last class. Okay, we try to discuss another topic today. Okay, first of all, we try to see a database management system or DBMS is a software designed to assist in maintaining and utilizing large collection of data and the need for such systems as well as their use and growing rapidly. So that means here, so database management system is used for to provide one software to maintain the easier interactions with the end users. And when we are maintaining large collection of data, then this type of software will be used in easy type of way. Okay, so another thing is a DBMS is a collection of interrelated data and set of programs to access those data. So that means DBMS is nothing but the collection of interrelated data and set of programs to access those data. So DBMS is a system which allows inserting, deleting, and updating the database. So that means, so if you are compare the any type of the software, so this is the one type of way, easy way. We can easily inserting the data, and we can easily updating the data, we can easily deleting the data, easily creating the data. Even though end user is not having the programming knowledge, we can easily move interacting with the user through some interface. Okay, so the primary goal of the DBMS is to provide a way to store and retrieve the database information that is both convenient and efficient. So all these are the definitions. So what is a database? So what is a database? A database means nothing but the collection of interrelated data that can be managed into the tables according to the user requirement. So here the user requirement is either inserting the data or deleting the data or updating the data. So whatever it may be the operation of the user. So that will be easily interacting with the user. So that is the main thing. Okay. This is the introduction about the DBMS. Okay, and DBMS is the program that organizes and maintain the information, and the database application is the program that makes it possible to view, retrieve, and update the information stored in the DBMS. So nothing but it is a one of the program, so that organizes and maintains the information. Database application is the program, so it will be creating some data, so we can view the our required data only. So we need not to retrieve unnecessary data here. So here the database functionality we can achieve through the following softwares. So maybe Oracle, MS Access, Foxbro, and SQL and Oracle. Okay, so PostgreSQL. So different types of databases are there. Okay, So we can use it in so many applications. In the last class also we are discussing about the different types of applications. In the exam point of view, so in the case of first unit, so maybe the chance of asking the question is, so what is a database? What is the need of database? And where we are using the database? At this time of situation, first of all, we try to giving the definition about the database. And next we try to mention the applications of the database, where we are using the data. So where we are maintaining lot of data or large amount of collection of data, so then we can use database management system in that particular application. For example, banking. So in the case of banking system, so a number of customers having the accounts and they are doing different types of transactions. Some of the members deposit the amount, and some of the members debit the amount, and some of the users taking the loans. So in this type of different types of transactions are performed by different types of users at a time. So at this time of situation, we need to maintain one of the software to maintain easier transactions and to maintain efficient transactions. Okay. And another thing, in the case of database management system, everything or every operation will be treated as one of the transaction. Okay. And next one, university. So and airlines. So in the railway reservation, finance, telecommunications, sales, credit card transaction, human resources. So in this type of way, we can consider so many applications. Okay, so where we are maintaining lot of data. So at that particular location, so we can use it to use it the database management system. Okay. Okay, now first of all, here this is the first topic in our first chapter. So that is file system versus DBMS. In the last class also we are discussing about this. Okay, if you know about this topic, we can easily answer the. So better you try to note the same topic in four types of ways. So the first one is file system versus DBMS, and second thing is drawbacks of file system or file processing approach, and third one advantages of DBMS, and the fourth one database system characteristics. Okay, so that means for example, maybe in the exam point of view may not be the chance asking the question directly. So may most of the chance asking the question in direct type of way. Okay. First of all, what is the file system? So actually file system is a one of the previous approach. So before using the DBMS, so in the older days we are based upon the file processing approach to storing the data. File is nothing but the collection of the records. So in that record we are maintaining the data, but if we want to retrieve that particular data, we need to execute the programs. So and another thing is file system is belongs to the secondary storage device. So we also know about what is the secondary storage. So that means nothing but permanent storage. Okay. Uh, if you are observe here, file system is a collection of raw data files stored in the hard drive, whereas DBMS is a bundle of applications that is dedicated for managing data stored in databases. Okay, file is nothing but a collection of raw data files. File system is nothing but a collection of raw data files stored in the hard drive. Okay, so it is the integrated system used for managing digital databases, which allows storage of database content creation or maintenance of data, search, and other functionalities. So both the systems can be used to allow the user to work with the data in similar way. The file system is one of the earliest ways of managing the data. Okay, here now we try to discuss what is the file system. Okay, but due to the shortcomings present in using a file system is to store electronic data. Database management systems came into the sometime so later, so that they provide mechanisms to solve the problems, but it should noted that even in a DBMS are eventually stored in some sort of files. So first difference. Okay, first difference is data redundancy. So in the last class also we are discussing about this. So data redundancy means nothing but duplication of data. So when we are consider the file processing approach to maintaining the data, so maybe the chance of occurring the data redundancy. So that means allowing the chance same type of same copy of the data resides into the number of locations. Okay, so that is the drawback. So what is the drawback? So when we are allowing same type of data to store into the memory, so then it will be wastaging the memory. At the same time, we are not able to retrieve or require data. So that is also one of the drawback. Okay. And when we are allowing the redundant data, into the files, then we are not able to perform our required operation. For example, maybe if we want to insert some particular person, so if we want to insert some related data for the particular person, then it will be inserted for some other members also. So if you delete some records of the persons, so then automatically deleting the some other persons also. Okay. And if you want to update it, so then automatically updating the some other information also. Okay, in this type of way occurring the problem, that is nothing but data redundancy. So if you are observed here in FMS, so what is the meaning of FMS? Means nothing but file management system. Okay, file management system, as various copies of same data resides, the same information is duplicated in several files, indicating the redundancy. So nothing but waste copies of data, which leads to higher storage and cost. Second one is data inconsistency. So, and second thing is data inconsistency. In file management system, data redundancy leads to greater problem than just wasting the storage. That is, it may lead to inconsistent data. Same data which has been repeated at several places may not match after it has been updated at some places. So that means whenever it is not able to performing the operation efficiently, that is nothing but inconsistency. Am I right? So when we are allowing redundant data, then automatically creating the problem data inconsistency. Another thing is difficult in accessing the data. So that means we can't retrieve our required data. For example, maybe if I want to retrieve only the student names who are having the marks greater than 70. So then I can't access. Why? Because here the problem is, so when we are allowing the redundant data, and another thing, for each and every operation is based upon to the program execution. So that means, hello, hello, hello. Okay. So here the problem is, so when we are allowing redundant data, then we are not able to performing the our operation efficiently. That is also one of the problem. And another problem is here the user should be having the programming knowledge. So otherwise they in the file processing system, so those users not interacting with the not interacting the users easily. Okay. So, so that is also another type of drawback. If you are observed here in the file management system for generating and HOC reports, the programs will not already be presented and only options present will to write new program to generate requested report or to work manually. So this is going to take impractical time and will be more expensive. So for example, if we are consider some of the language, okay, for example, if we are consider the BDA, so or maybe we're using HOC. Okay, at this time of situation, so the programmer cannot the user cannot change the data according to his requirement. But in the case of database, we can simply changing the single line of the query. So there is no need to contact the programmer or maybe the developer every time. So simply user can update the data. Okay, so that is the advantage of DBMS. Okay, but this is the drawback here. For each and every situation, so the users should be interacting the developers or maybe the programmers, okay, to changing its requirement. Okay, next, data isolation. So I think the name is implies isolation means nothing but the separation. So when we are maintaining the data in the file management system, so then the data is scattered into different types of formats and it will be stored into the different types of locations. So at this time of situation, here the chance of occurring loss of the data. Why? Because we can't, we are not able to combine so different types of data into a single data. So that is the drawback. So data isolation. So but in the case of DBMS, we are stored into the same information stored into the different types of tables. But if any time of the situation is needed, so we can combine into the different types of tables into a single table. So that is the main advantage. So and another is the integrity problems. So integrity problems means nothing but we are not able to insert our required new condition. For example, maybe if I'm asking the question is like this, for example, please try to raise the customer names who are not maintaining the balance. So minimum account balance is 1,000 rupees. For example, maybe if I want to know about the names, how many members not maintaining the minimum balance in their banks. For example, maybe after if the situation is happened like this, then what's our possibility now? So whether we've done the work through manually, or maybe we try to contact the programmers or maybe the developers and explain our problem. So according to our problem, we try to write one program. I'm right. So after the execution of the program only, we are able to solving our problem. So how much of time is needed to write the program and performing the compilation and run the program? So a lot of time is needed. I'm right. So for example, after some time, we are changing our condition now. So maybe so minimum each and every customer should be maintaining the minimum balance is 1500 in their in their accounts. So then again we try to doing the same thing. So that means here we are not easily interacting with the data. At the same time, we are not able to performing the operations easily. So that's the problem. I'm right. So that is the problem. So integrity problem means we are not able to insert our required new conditions into the existing data. So if you observe here in FMS, to develop the new consistent range in the existing system, the appropriate code must be added in various application programs. Okay, so that means to develop the new consistent range in the existing system, the appropriate code must be added in various application problems. So that means here we need to use some another code to nothing but insert our new conditions. So next one is the concurrent access. So in the FMS, that means file management system. So concurrent access means nothing but we are allow more than one user at a time to performing the same data. Okay, so performing the operations on the same data or same database. So when more than one user are allowed to process the database, if in that environment two or more users try to update a shared data element at about the same time, so then it may result into the inconsistent data. Am I right or not? For example, maybe when we are allowing more than one user at a time to accessing the data, so if one of the user performing the changes, then maybe the chance of occurring the loss of data. So that is also one of the problems. So that means we are not able to allow more than one user at a time in the case of file processing approach. Okay. So that is also one of the drawback. But in the case of database, we are able to allow more than one user at a time. For example, railway reservation. So in the railway reservation, so we are able to allow more than one user at a time to reserve the particular train on that same day and the same time. Am I right or not? So even though we are allowing more than one user at a time, there is no problem. But in the case of file processing approach, if you are allowing more than one user at a time, then it will be creates a lot of problems. Okay, next one is the atomosity. Okay, uh, atomosity. Please wait here 1 minute. Okay. So atomosity means nothing but here we are consider either all operations of the transaction or not consider any one of the action in transaction. So that means consider either all or not consider anyone. So that is the meaning of atomosity. Okay. So why we are consider like this means, so for example, if here in the case of database management system, each and every operation will be treated as a one of the transaction. So first of all, what is a transaction? So transaction means nothing but a series of actions. So that means when we are performing so many actions, so that with those type of combined actions will be treated as one transaction. So that means here each and every transaction having more than one action. Okay. For example, maybe we are consider some examples. So yesterday also I'm mentioning the same example. Again, I try to use the same example. For example, maybe so one transaction having the two actions. Okay, so those two actions means nothing but deducting the 1,000 rupees from the A account. So that is the first action. So and the second action is, so the deducted 1,000 rupees amount that will be added to the B account. So that means here we are having the two actions. First of all, first one is nothing but deducting 1,000 rupees from the A account. Now those type of those 1,000 rupees added to the account B. For example, during this execution of these transactions occurring the some failure, then what happened? So maybe deducting the amount from the A, but the deducted amount from the A is not added to the B. So is it a successful transaction? So it is a error transaction. So that means whether we are consider either two actions of the execution, or we are not consider any one of the action of the transaction. So that type of the property is nothing but atomosity.
Okay, if you are observing here in FMS, so on subject to the failure of the computer system, it is crucial to ensure that the processing data are restored to the consistent state that exists prior to the failure or not. So that is the change must be atomic. It must be happen entirely or not at all. So that means the change will be applied entirely or not at all. So that means consider either all operations of the transaction or not consider any one of the operation of the transaction or action. Okay, so that is nothing but atomicity. So these type of problems are occurred in the file processing approach. Okay, so that means maybe the chance of occurring the error transactions. Okay, now last one is security and access control. So in the file management system, database should be protected from the unauthorized users. But in the case of file processing approach, so every user allowed to performing the operations on the file, and maybe the chance of occurring the loss of data, modifying the data, deleting the data. Am I right? So every user should not be allowed to access the every data. So since application programs are added to the system, for example, the payroll personnel in a bank should not be allowed to access accounts information of the customers. So that means if we are allowing the customers to access the bank accounts, then what happened? So then every user try to performing this modification. Am I right? So that's why we try to give some permissions only for the particular users, and at the same time only authorized users are allowed to performing the operations. Okay, so otherwise occurring a lot of problems. So that means here in the case of file processing system, we are not having the security. So just we try to see one by one. So first of all, so when we are maintaining the data in the file system, so then maybe the chance of occurring the data redundancy, nothing but duplication of data. And the second one is data inconsistency, and third one is difficulty in accessing data. Why? Because each and every user should be having the programming knowledge. Otherwise, so here new users not able to easily interacting with the developed software. So and the next one is the data isolation. So data isolation means nothing but separation of the data. I'm right. Separation of the data, and that means we are not able to collecting the different locations of the data into a single data. And another thing is here occurring the problems is integrity problems. So nothing but we are not able to insert our new conditions. So and another one is the concurrent access. So concurrent access means nothing but we are not able to allow more than one user at a time. So if we are allowing more than one user at a time, then occurring lot of problems. So it will be automatically leads to the inconsistent data. And the next one is the atomicity, either consider all actions of the transaction or not consider any one of them. If it is a successful transaction, then only consider all operations. If it is a error transaction, not consider any one of the operation in a transaction. Okay, next one is the security. So that means we are now in the case of file processing system, so here there is no restriction about the users. So each and every user able to perform any type of the operation. So at this time of situation, maybe the chance of occurring the loss of data, or maybe the chance of occurring the modification of the data. Okay, so these are the drawbacks of file processing system. So these are the earliest type of way just to store and managing the data. Okay, but whatever it may be the drawbacks, so up to now we are considered. So those are the actually advantages of DBMS. So that means, so in the case of DBMS, we are not allowing the redundant data. So there is no occurring the problem of inconsistency. There is no not having the chance to occurring the problem difficulty to accessing the data. So and here it will be providing the chance for concurrent execution. So and maintaining the security. So maintain the atomicity. Okay, in each and every operation. Okay. So and maintaining the security, and each and every user having the username and password, and only those type of users having the some limited permissions. So those users only not able to doing each and every operation. So they are controlled by database administrator. So in at the same time, it will be able to recover the data even the occurring the failures. So these are the advantages of DBMS. Now we try to see one by one. So first of all, so data independence. So data independence means nothing but here, even though we are performing some changes in the existing data, so then that type of the changes are not reflected to the some other existing data. Okay, so that is nothing but data independence. So application programs should be as independent as possible from the details of the data representation and storage. So the DBMS can provide abstract view of the data, insulate application code from such details. So next one is the efficient data access. So when we are based upon to the database management system, so these are the advantages. So the first one is data independence. So that means even though we are performing some changes on the existing data, that is not reflected to the some other existing data within the database. Okay, and the next one is the efficient data access. So a DBMS utilizes a variety of sophisticated techniques to store and retrieve data efficiently. So nothing but here we are using some type of queries. So those are used for to retrieve our required data from the database. Okay, this feature is especially important if the data is stored in external storage devices. So nothing but here when we are based upon to the database management system, we are easily accessing the data and each and every data access is efficient. So next one is the data integrity. So that means we can easily insert our new conditions. So we can change and we can try to perform the updations. So we can retrieve our required data. So there is no rules. So integrity constraints such as a unique account number for each person should be identified. So data may be updated incorrectly if integrity is not maintained. Okay, so that means, for example, we want to insert our new condition. For example, here the condition is, so we try to maintain some unique account number for each and every person for the existing data. So nothing but here we are insert our new condition. So that is also possible. And another one is the security. So different constraints can be there for each type of access to write to each module of the information in the database. Thus ensuring that accessing database is through proper channel by proper person. So that means here, so the main thing is security means nothing but first of all allowing the user and performing the operations on the data. Okay, so nothing but these are issued from the database administrator. So that means initially database administrator decides so who are the authorized user or who are the not unauthorized user. Okay, and issue username and password for the each and every user and allowing the permissions for the user. So whether they are read permission, write permission, or maybe the execute permission. Okay, so the type of the chance is also having the database management system and less redundancy. So nothing but there is no chance of occurring the redundant data. So here mention less redundancy. Why? Because here redundancy we are not completely eliminated. So we can reduce up to some extent only. So database administrator has the centralized control of the data. So it will avoid the inconsistency because now we have to make the changes at one place only. And the next one is data sharing. Please wait 1 minute. Hello. 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 Okay. In the case of data sharing, many applications programs use the same data simultaneously and they're referred to as data sharing. So that means when we are performing the operations on the existing data, so then we are giving the chance for to share the data also. So then only so many users accessing the data. Okay, due to this future database, the storage capacity is reduced to minimum. So the advantages makes the database system very popular. So nothing but up to now we are discussing about the advantages. So the first one is data independence. Okay, and maintaining the less redundancy. So data sharing. So efficient data will be accessed by the user. There is no chance of occurring the problem is inconsistency. Okay, and we can easily insert our new conditions into the database. So and concurrent access and crash recovery. So database has backup so that recovery of data from the software and the hardware failure can be made such that if system crashes in mid of transactions, database should be restored to the safer state and concurrency is maintained. So that means when we are allowing the concurrent execution of users, so concurrent users to performing the execution on the existing database. Okay, so then maybe the chance of occurring the loss of data. So that how then DBMS can be provided so different types of ways to recover the failure data. Okay, so in some type of situation occurring the problems in front of the programmers, in some type of situation occurring the problem in front of the software. So whatever it may be the problem here, we are able to recover the data even though occurring the failures. Okay, and the next one is Reduced application development time. So DBMS supports many important functions that are common to many application accessing the stored in the DBMS. Okay. So all these are the advantages of the DBMS. So up to now we are discussing about the advantages of DBMS. In the previous case we are discussing about the what are the drawbacks of file processing system, and the same question will be answered to able to answer for the compare the file system versus DBMS. Okay. So please wait here 1 minute. I will continue my session. Please wait here 1 minute. Okay. Hello. 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 Okay. Up to now, we are discussing about the so what is a database and what are the applications of database, and how we are what are the advantages of DBMS and what are the drawbacks of file processing approach. So now we try to discussing about the another topic. So that is so database users and user interfaces. Okay. So what about the database users? So who are really interacting with the database? So those type of users we can refer database users. But here we are using the database in different types of ways. According this will be different from one user to the another user. So here we are consider different types of users. In the exam point of view, also asking what are the different types of users. So first of all, we try to see here. So database users are those, so are the one who really use and take the benefits of the database. So who are receiving the benefits from the database? So that type of the users will be received referred to as database users. So there will be different types of users depending on their need and way of accessing the database. Okay, first of all, application programmers. I think the name is implies. Here, these users able to develop the applications in the database environment. So that the type of the work done by the programmers. So these type of works are done by the application programmers. Simple. So even though we are not able to remember anything, we can easily answer this. Okay. Uh, First of all, application programmers, they are the developers who interacting with the database by means of DML queries. So we can see what is a DML queries in the next class. So I think some of the persons may be having the idea about the what is a DML and what is a DDL. Okay, so these DML queries are written in the application programs like C, C++, Java, Pascal, etc. And one more thing, so I'm already sharing one link to install Oracle in your systems. So when you install in your systems, remember please. So when you installation, so then it will be asking the password. So during the installation of that particular Oracle, so it will be asking password. Better you try to giving the password is manager, MANAGER. So why? Because so default username is the system for to that particular software, and the password is if you are giving the manager. So then we can easily remember that. So even though we are accessing after longest period of time, so we can easily remember that. If you are so there is no compulsory to giving the same password for to the each and every user. So if you are able to remember, so which type of password is assigned to that particular user. Okay, and I will try to explain how we are creating the users also. Okay, today I will try to explain the so how we are creating the users also. So before going to that, so here we discussing about different types of different types of users. So the first one is the application programmers. So that means who are interacting with the database. So to developing the particular functionality in the application, DBMS functionality in the application. So those type of programmers are users are referred as application programmers. Okay, here so these users work with the DML queries. Okay. Next one. So these queries are converted into the object code to communicating with the database. So that means, so these users are responsible for to generate one interface. So in that interface, users easily interacting with that software. So for example, maybe if you want to create the Gmail account, so how we are creating the Gmail account? So directly go to the Google, and next we are type the code like this. So open the Gmail account. If you are not having the account, so then new user, click the new user. So if you are click the new user, then you open one front end. So that is nothing but forms. So in that forms, we are submitting the data. For example, maybe what is the first name, last name, date of birth, gender, so country, I'm right. So phone number like this. So after submit all the details, so we are press the submit button. So when you press the submit button, then those details are stored into the database. So that means here, so that type of application will be developed by the application programmers. Okay. For example, writing a C program to generate the report of employees who are working in the particular department will involve a query to fetch the data from the database. It will include an embedded SQL query in the C program. So that means here, so we are for some of the users may be familiar with the C language. So that's why we try to include that whatever it may be the database query. So that query is embedded into the C language. Then we can execute the C program. Then automatically executing the query of the database. Okay. Okay, next, sophisticated users. Sophisticated user means so nothing but satisfied users. So who are the satisfied? So nothing but which type of users know about the commands? So to retrieve the required data. So those type of users are nothing but sophisticated users. So they are database developers who write the SQL queries to select, insert, delete, update the data. So they do not use any application or programs to request the database. They're directly interacting with the database by means of query language like SQL. So that means these users directly interacting with the they interacting with the queries. They are not based upon to the interface. So that type of the users are referred to as sophisticated users. Okay. So these users will be scientists, engineers, analysts who through study SQL and DBMS to apply concepts in their requirement. In short, we can say this category includes designers and developers of DBMS and SQL. So that means who are interacting with the database or maybe the SQL. So those type of users will be referred to as sophisticated users. Okay, next one, specialized users. So these users are also sophisticated users, but they write special database application programs. So they are the developers who develop the complex programs to the requirement. So nothing but some of the users developing different types of applications. So that type of the application of the users will be referred as specialized users. So next one is the standalone users. So these users will have standalone database for their personal use. So these kinds of database will have really made database packages, and these kinds of database will have ready-made database packages which will have menus and graphical interfaces. So nothing but here the standalone users based upon the only database applications, and here we are using some graphical user interfaces to nothing but retrieve the data. At the same time we try to giving the data. Okay. So DBA is also one of the user. So but in the case of exam point of view, asking the question is, so what are the functionalities of DBA, database administrator? So nothing but he is administrate the database. So nothing but the collection of data will be controlled by database administrator. So DBS is a DBA is a person having control over the data on the program. DB is a person having all authorities and responsibilities of the database. So nothing but so the first one is he is control over the data and a program, and he is issued passwords and usernames for the each and every user. Okay. So DB is a person having all the authorities and responsibilities of the database. A database administrator DBA manages DBMS for an enterprise. So DBA designs schemas, provides security, restores the system after a failure, and periodically tunes the database to need to a hello. Okay. Application programmers develop applications to use the DBMS functionality to access, manipulate the data and end users in all other applications. And DB is having the responsibility to tune the database performance, and he is the responsible for make sure all the queries programs works the fraction of seconds. So nothing but so the database administrator main purpose is so nothing but issue the username and passwords for the each and every user, and restricting the unauthorized users to accessing the database. And another thing, periodically performing the tuning. So nothing but unnecessary data will be removed by the database administrator, and he is the responsible to make sure all the queries and programs work in fraction of seconds. Okay, so nothing but whatever it will be the work, so that will be completed within the time. So next one is the migrate database service. Sometimes users using the Oracle would like to shift to SQL Server or Netezza. So it is the responsibility of DBA to make sure that the migration happens without any failure and there is no data loss. So nothing but here we are using two different types of databases. And the DBA is responsible for to make sure that migration happens without any failure and there is no any data loss. So backup and recovery is also responsible for the DBA. So proper backup and recovery programs needs to be developed by DBA and has to be maintained him. So this is one of the main responsibility of DBA. So data objects should be backed up regularly so that if there is any crash, so it should be recovered without much effort and data loss. And the sixth one is the security, and seventh one is the documentation. Okay, so just we are today discussing about the what are the roles of DBA. Okay, in the next class we will try to go for another topic. So don't try to attend the classes with the late attendance, please. So why? Because here we are taking the attendance. Okay, and better all of the members please join within the time. Okay, not only in my class, so better you try to join in each and every class. Okay, so today just we are discussing about different types of users and also DBA. So in the exam point of view, asking this question is very important. Okay, and we are forgetting one thing, so that is nothing but naive users. So actually here the name is wrong. Naive, NAIVE, naive users. These users not having the programming knowledge to performing the operations of the database. So the type of the users will be referred as naive users. So we try to discuss tomorrow. Okay, if you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. So otherwise, we can end the session today. If any member is having any type of the okay. So I will try to unmute all of the persons. So please, all of you, unmute yourself. So if you're having any type of the if you are not understanding anything, so I will try to explain again now. If you're having any type of the doubt, you can raise now. And all of the members having my number also. So if you're having any type of the doubt, you can ask me personally. No problem. So you can contact me through WhatsApp, or maybe directly you can call to my number. Up to now, we are completing the two topics in the first chapter. Okay. So in the next class, we try to discuss about the data models and data abstraction, and we'll try to repeat the same topic today. If you're having any type of the if you want to any type of the clarification, you can ask me now. So I end the session now. If you're not having any type of the doubts, we can close the session today. And one more thing, so I'm already giving the link about the Oracle. So that is to be installed in your systems. If you want to install in your systems, so click that link, then it will be download that particular software. Now we can start your installation. So next, during the installation, so asking the password. So better you try to give the manager. Password is manager. Then we can create new users with the new passwords. There is no problem. Okay. Sir, send the notes. Okay, okay. I will send the notes. Don't worry about that. So after the completion of this unit, I will send this. Okay, don't worry about that. If you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me. So is it my voice is audible to everyone? Is it my voice is audible to everyone now? Okay, if you're not having any type of the doubts, we can end the session today. Okay. So if you're having any type of the doubts, you can contact me personally. No problem. Okay. My number is all of the members maybe we can view in the group. Okay. Now I end the session. Thank you. So you can join the sessions within the time. So don't try to waste your time, and you don't try to waste the faculty time also. Okay. Better you try to join within the time. For example, if the class is 9 o'clock, better you try to join from 8:50 onwards. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda. Thank you.